Oh, perfect timing. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is a Geek Aloud Let's Play. We've got Zach joining us with some Rocket League Pro tips. Zach, welcome.
Hey, happy to be back.
Yeah, man, it's been, what have we worked out, 18 months or something since your last training?
Yeah, something like that.
Whoa, look at these guys. And of course,
Yeah, no.
well, how you going?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well. If I can work out how to get this going, my goodness. Viewers, you should be aware that we're looking at my output, but the other two teammates, certainly Zach and Travis Timo, and Neil, watching last weekend was the travel on a independent play in duos, and we think we're now ready to say come back up the 18 months. And because of for tips. So Zach, thank you for joining us. And have you got any short tips for us? Anything you think based on anything you've seen recently? Number one thing that worked?
Trying to think and concentrate at the same time.
Yeah,
Well, I watched those clips you sent me, and I was pretty. Oh, demoed me at the last second there. Pretty impressed with what I saw. For you said you're hovering around gold right now.
Yeah, I've just made this golden track. How have you been gold?
Been in gold for ages, and just up to like gold 2, I think. So
Okay.
not really progressing fast.
Yeah, well, Rocket League's a pretty hard game. I'll give you that. Out of like all these really big competitive games, I'd say it's the hardest to learn because it's so unlike anything else. So I get that. But I mean, I remember pretty sure back when we first talked, you weren't even playing competitive. So 8 months. Yeah.
And just for your knowledge, I've been playing since when we were out throughout like 2018. Tried only got your account what start of this year, like January.
Yeah, about that.
And so since January, Trent's played twice as many games as me and twice as many games and he's only 2 months in Rocket League. That's for sure his dedication.
It's a good game to play.
It's great.
Oh, trades on glass, man. How do you feel about the trading changes they announced?
The training changes? Oh, trading.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Yeah, well, I mean, the trading market's been dead for a long time anyway. Once they introduced the loot or the new blueprint system, it basically just died. So it's kind of whatever, honestly. Like I used to do a pretty good amount of trading because it was still the loot boxes, so there was actually like a market to trade. But now it's pay for the blueprints, which isn't really as fun, I think.
I know, like, yeah, I have all of my gold explosions, they're my favourite thing, gold explosions, and then release them.
Yeah, it's like Fortnite. It's like, oh, you want this thing? Pay $20.
Yeah.
Which I'm a big Fortnite fan, but the monetization isn't good on that either.
Yeah, it was wild. My kids were showing me the other day, I was Fortnite about 10 things go into the, like, creator servers,
Yeah, it's creative mode.
and there's ones where they're just essentially XP files.
Yeah, because they just have the little kids there boosting their numbers instead of actually playing the game, really.
Yeah, it just seems to break that whole battle pass system wide open. Like,
Yeah, it's really weird how they have that work, but it's just Roblox now, essentially.
yeah. And just for your information, Zach, we're playing on your server, so we have a significant amount of
Yeah. I could do it on your server so it's easier for you guys.
Yeah, it might help the stream a little bit. again. Just
Yeah.
forcing me out to just shoot that way. You might go for it.
Yeah, that's fine, because I'll be okay on a delay. Should be like 200. But
Oh my god, I really feel that way.
yeah, these guys are kind of just toying with it a little bit. Yeah, the one big thing I can say is you're double committing a lot, which so when two people go for the ball at the same time,
Yep.
which you know, that's just learning where you're supposed to be, where your teammates are, and not putting too much pressure on it all the time.
Yeah, once again, as you say, mate, because we're streaming, it's a bit hard to
Yeah.
but I don't think I'm normally this bad, but it's very cool, thank you.
Oh, I'm doing terrible too. I'm trying to talk and think, and it's totally fine. Let's see here. Regions. So you would be.
Oceania?
Yeah.
Oceania? I don't know how many I's they've put in there.
Yeah. I'll probably be at about 250, but that's okay. Ooh, estimated queue time, 1 minute and 24 seconds.
Whoa.
Usually it's like 20. But yeah, that was something I saw in your clips as well. Like generally the one person was where they needed to be, and another person would be basically right on top of them. And depending on where the third person is, that can be okay. But generally, it's not good to have that happen, because if two people miss, then they're behind the ball, leaving the other person with a 1v3, which always puts them in a bad position.
I think my Rocket League just crashed, so I'm just launching it back up again. I'm stuck on a loading screen. I haven't seen that before. I don't know if we're going to need to re-invite me. Sorry, man, you were saying I can't talk.
Oh, you're just totally fine.
Being in position.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We generally play 2v2, so
Yeah.
probably even more important for us to think about that.
Yeah, I play twos the most as well, so that's where.
You need to kick me and re-invite me, Zach, I think.
Okay. Trying. Won't let me.
Mine had like a hard lock.
Let me just leave the party and re-invite you.
Yeah, okay. Well, Trey, if you want to drop out, man, and I'll might be easy to go this way. There we go. All right. I'm just thinking, Zach, if I'm the party leader and invite you in, that should fix the server issues.
Yeah, you can do that.
There we go. Trevor, did that invite come through for you, mate?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Here we go. 3v3s. Oh, wait, why did it line up? Am I going crazy here? Why isn't that searching? Go down. Oh my god.
What do you want, Trey?
Oh my god, not enough.
Hardest part of the game shouldn't be the menus.
Well, I swear that used to be auto. You just click the tile and it launch.
Oh yeah, it used to.
Ah.
Yeah, they keep changing it constantly for some reason.
Trying to get their interactive users up. Oh, Zach, I've got a question for you, man. With your Rocket League experience, have you ever heard of or seen someone playing Rocket League with a real, like, USB with steering wheel, etc.?
No, that sounds horrible.
I actually got it working the other day, and I was joking about it with Trav before we went on air, and he's like, "You've got to do a stream that, like, I'm not the best player as it is, but on the steering wheel."
But yeah,
it is something very different.
I couldn't even imagine. It's a good idea, though.
That's it. I'll build a stream.
That's like the people that play Dark Souls on a banana or whatever.
Alright, I'll hang back in goals if you guys are going forward. Or is that not a legit strat? Feel free to pull me up anytime.
Sure.
Oh, he got that.
Good little touch. So that's something that people thought was good. Not okay. I phrased that kind of mean. That was something that people initially thought because it's like, oh, it's like soccer. There's a goalie. You know, I'm not gonna assume anything. You know about rotating.
Well, you explained it briefly to me previously, but no, give us a rundown on it. Start from the beginning.
Sure. So the best way to be successful and to work with your teammates is to always be rotating, which goes back into double committing, actually. Like, basically, one person at a time should be going for the ball, another person should be to their side or slightly behind them to be available for them, and one person being on defense. And whenever it's the person in front, whenever it's their turn to go for the ball, they challenge. Oh, goodness. They challenge and then they rotate around the field to give the other person their space to go and challenge for the ball and so on and so on. So it's always cycling out the person that's forward. Because if one person is always just staying back, then that just leaves a big space in the middle of the field.
Can you loosely break it down for me? Like, how is your field divided? Where are your three players? Like, front third, mid third, back third, or are they front third and two in the mid third? Is that
Goodness. This 200 ping is really messing with me. No, it's fine. Really? Yeah, if you want to put it into thirds, it's really only as far as where the ball is. Like, you can really divide it into a third as far as where the ball is on the field. So wherever it is, there should be. Yeah, see, you guys were in the same spot there. Always got to be looking out for where the other person is. Yeah, it takes time. It's your first instinct is always to go for the ball wherever it is, but that's totally fine. It takes time. It's basically wherever the ball is. So, goodness.
how far back are you saying? Like, when you rotate off the ball and I'm no longer attacking, how far back from the ball should I be at that time? Are you just going straight for a 100 boost and then circling straight in again?
Typically, yeah. Yeah, if you can go all the way around just to make sure you're not in the way of anything, essentially, not making small circles but big wide ones, so you can get a view of the field and try to get a full boost, ideally, and to give other people space, and pretty much just rotating behind the last person, because if they see you go, then they should push up to make space. To take space for the other person so they have somewhere to put the ball if they choose to. So, you have to kind of see what your teammate does. I'm sorry, I was there as well.
No, you do, man.
It just takes watching your teammates as well as the ball and where you are, because you don't want to just be on an autopilot. But
yeah,
just kind of filling the space where the ball could go, just so it's not going, where somebody isn't.
Yeah. Are you on PC or console? What are you playing on?
PlayStation.
You're on PlayStation. Have you seen, I haven't played with it myself, but I've seen that on PC there's a mod for like AI pre-programmed training. Have you ever played around that stuff?
I've seen it. I've seen people I've seen people complaining about it because they would put them into like actual games and screw with people.
Wow. Nice.
But yeah, I've seen that they've like programmed bots to be way smarter than the current ones, which are really not great. But yeah, I was kind of
Oh my god. No, that was dunking on us. Maybe competitive for some call.
You know what I could do?
I think just focusing on talking and playing, puts me off. The rest of the stream will be conducted in you. It's alright.
You know, I could do. I don't want to say it out loud because I like having my account, but maybe my friend could play for me and I could commentate over it.
I see. That'd work.
You know, he's not gonna be as good as me.
Papa Smurf.
Oh, hey, whoa, hey. Let's not say these things so loud. But yeah, because you guys playing on my level is not particularly useful for you guys. Oops, I'm sorry, I just blocked that.
No, you're right.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, everyone, I hit it. Oh my god, look at that ball control thing.
No.
Yeah, see, that was a
sad.
really big positioning nightmare there. I was way too far forward, but it's kind of what I'm saying about having someone behind the ball all the time.
Yeah.
But it happens, you know. So let me ask my friend and see if he's okay with this. I think he should be.
Excellent. Hopefully he's up at, what is it, like 2:30 in the morning?
Yeah, you know, he's second shift as well.
He's dedicated.
Yeah. Let's see here. Should work. My PlayStation Plus should transfer over. Yes, my good friend Jeff. Let's see here. Oh. Oh goodness, why can't I? Oh no. Oh. And what about it? Sorry.
Once your friend made himself available, what are we thinking? Is it a casual match? Where are we headed? Is it?
We could do ranked. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me 1 second here to figure this out.
Yeah,
Sorry
no
about
worries.
that.
Take time. So good. I got to say, man, playing with the steering wheel, and I've got the the paddles on the back of the steering wheel. I made one of them the handbrake and the other the boost, and it was quite a weird experience. That's awesome. It's got to be ludicrous, though. But surely somebody else has done it. Sure.
Okay, so let's see here. Really? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, I have figured this out.
Perfect.
And I'm gonna have to make a location change, actually.
Very good.
Because my my good friend, my good friend. Actually, Jeff is unavailable. It's gonna be my my lovely, beautiful girlfriend who will be supporting me here.
Fantastic work.
Because she is leeching off my PlayStation Plus. So This one. Oh, she's talking to one of the cats. Okay. This should work. I thought I saw him just go up the stairs. Maybe.
Oh, you're not in trouble.
Hey, come on, man. It's 2 a.m. Hey, I just love running around as fast as I can. Oh no, I have to do the tutorial.
Oh,
Play.
that's the worst.
Oh my god.
I think if memory serves, you can just put the controller down and it will autoplay. Leave it that way.
I am on your account. You haven't played on the PlayStation, so it has to do this. Oh my goodness. I'm very sorry for this.
No, it's all good, man. I appreciate your time and come and get some pointers.
We're currently in no rush.
What?
Yeah, we're in no rush, man.
Do you want to link it to my epic or whatever it is? I should already. Is your... Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. All right. I am in.
Don't you dare change my car.
I'm just taking the topper off. It's just the topper. Yeah, she has a very different look to me. Okay, so if I can get your Epic ID, if you want to just type it to me on Discord, I can plug it in.
Yeah, let's do that.
You're not doxing yourself for the world here.
Great call, man. Thanks. I probably would do exactly that. Where are we?
Better not.
Now, is there some sort of share button? Where would I get that? Or is it just the name? Or does it have like a weird... You know?
So if you hit the social button, whatever it is for you,
I think I've got it.
It should have it at the top.
Oh, is that no good?
Or is it this?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Wasn't sure if that was just a screen name or what that was.
Boom. Achieved. So are we doing against each other? Is that how are we going to pull that off?
Oh, I assume we were just going into a game.
Yeah, yeah. So I invite you to this party. Is that this other account?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I've got to work out where it went. Oh, there it is there. Invite to party.
Yep.
Oh.
Where am I? There we are.
Hey, oh, check out that ride.
Oh yeah.
Nice. What was the topper?
Find it here.
Are we right to queue up for 3v3 competitive?
Competitive casual, it's up to you.
Oh, cancel. And I worked it out before. If you hit the Y button, it goes back to single selection.
Oh, there you go.
Just a fat finger fault, mine.
Make sure my controls are good here. I believe my controls are good.
Oh, now Zach, I had a question for you. I think it was you like a year ago, or whatever, but maybe it was somebody else. But is there really like a handful of core like physical shapes that the cars take on the pitch, and then the skins like weird shapes that kind of irrelevant as far as the ball's concerned?
Yeah, so the way it used to be was every car would have a unique shape, but they decided that with how many, bodies and such that they wanted to put in, that they would standardize them. So, like, they decided to choose a few of the more popular ones and standardize them around those.
Okay.
So like the Octane is the most popular car. It's the one that essentially everybody uses, and that's yeah. So that's a body shape. I believe Plank is a body shape, which is like the Breakout, that really kind of flat, longer kind of shape. I think the Dominus is a shape. So you can look it up. Double commit, but it worked. You can look it up and you can find something that'll tell you what each individual shape is. There's maybe 5 or 6 of them, I think.
Yeah, so did you ever use what is it? RL Garage, like Rocket League Garage, so third party website?
At some point, I might have used a different website, but
Yeah, so they've
some.
got a wiki on there, and I think they list a handful of color bodies that are standard or whatever. But the only color I can play well with when I do play well is this mini body. But I'm wondering what are my other color alternatives that are essentially the same thing? You know what I mean?
So what do you?
It's
You're
like
using the Octane, right?
well, I don't know. I've got it's like the license or whatever VW Mini.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never used any body other than the Merc when the game first came out. For whatever reason, I like the Merc. And then the Dominus when that came out. So I wouldn't know off the top of my head what would be the same, but I'm sure there's a Wikipedia probably that would have a list of all of them.
Well, I couldn't. Nice go, man. I couldn't find an answer to exactly what the mini body was. Like, I found entries for the mini, the car music, like officially licensed, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what other skins could I be playing that isn't the mini skin but has the exact same, feel to play?
I could look that up. Maybe I could find something.
Yeah, my searching is not always the best. But no worries, I just thought it'd be off the top of your head, man. All right, so
Yeah.
are we focusing on the rotation or is something else?
Yeah. Well, I guess the main thing I noticed really was the double committing, which is like a positioning thing.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess trying to. Oh, I'm being a little too fancy, huh? I'm trying not to be too obvious. Yeah, so getting acclimated with that concept will help reduce that.
Yeah.
So yeah, because watching how you guys sit in relative to the ball, as far as being the closest to it, is usually pretty good. I don't see you diving in a ton. Oops, I'm sorry.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I should have. No, I should have looked for where you were. You were right to go for that. I see. I cut my rotation, so that puts you off in a weird position. Where you're sitting off the ball is pretty decent. Like, I noticed you don't really dive in too much to like challenges that you're not going to win. You know, you're usually picking 50-50s.
It is something I'm trying to work on.
Yeah.
When you're hanging back off the ball, should I always be moving? Oftentimes I just kind of park the car. I'm just talking for a second or two, you know. But I do
Yeah.
stop or slow down. Is that bad? Does that make me a big target for demolitions?
So maybe not demolitions generally, because most of the time, if you're talking playing in gold and platinum, people aren't going to think of that too much. As you get higher, people will think they're real special and hot shit and try and do that to you just to piss you off.
Yeah.
But generally being moving is always good, but because it keeps you active.
Yep.
And more easy to react and make a move compared to when you just stop and you have to try and go from a dead stop to move for something. I wanted to let that just roll. Oh crap, I'm stuck on the wall. Oh, somebody's there. Oh, there you go. Yes. So generally the rule I always heard was you always want to be driving forward. Unless you're just on the complete other side of the field, it's kind of okay to sit for a second if you really want to, but even still, like if you ever watch me, I'm always just circling around, just finding a new position as the ball moves so that I can react to it whenever it's my time to go for it. It's a little too good of a control. Because I'm sure you know the ball can just fly around however it pleases most of the time. So
yeah, like if there's a scrimmage sort of thing in the corner, like I'll kind of hang way back just to see which way it's going to go. But in that scenario, would you just pick, you know, I've got 50 odds, I'll go left and hope for it, instead of waiting for it to go?
Yeah. Trying to predict where it goes is usually pretty good. You know, it's just one of those things that you just have to learn the physics of it and where things typically go. Because most of the time, games will go generally in the same kind of way. You notice patterns, you notice things that people do. Yeah. And people are predictable, honestly. So yeah, just kind of hanging around in an area where you can expect it to be is generally good. And just always driving, always having something to do keeps you locked in and keeps you from having to, you know, make a really split decision. And I guess as I'm... Oh, am I here?
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay. My lightning plug is really bad on my phone. Something I kind of thought of as I was talking, your power slide is probably your most important tool as far as positioning.
I love a good power slide.
Yeah.
Specific maneuvers.
That was I wouldn't say maneuvers exactly, but it kind of ties into what I was saying. If you're sitting there stationary waiting for the ball and you need to make a last second adjustment because it goes somewhere you didn't expect or something like that.
Yep.
If you're stationary, you'll have to try and just turn your car normally and be kind of stuck in place.
Yeah.
But if you're moving, you're able to power slide and really control where you're going a lot quicker.
Yeah, I'm with you. Is that to say, like, sitting there with your hand on the power slide button, so you're going at quarter speed or whatever? Is it that kind of story?
No, because power sliding while you're just moving will only kind of make you slide around and give you a little bit less control at low speed, but it's keeping at a... I always drive full speed, essentially.
Okay.
I never really try and feather my speed unless I'm like trying to line up for a hit, but just going at that, regular speed and being able to power slide. Oh God, my accent almost really came out there. Oh, did I score that? That was weird. I thought that was going somewhere else. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, just always having that in your mind to do that, to adjust, because power sliding is the most important thing you can do for positioning. Like anytime I'm driving away from the ball, I'm getting ready to turn, I always power slide because it gives me better control and to move quicker.
Oh, every time you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow, I never considered that.
Yeah, because just the extra turning radius you get, it's so useful. Yeah, and if you just kind of... There you go. You can sit there in training and just like kind of go back and forth up the field and just power slide around.
Yep.
And you'll kind of realize how much more freedom you have.
Yeah. Okay. So what's any tips for us on the aerial game? Is there a good jump on point for getting into aerial?
Aerials are really just a lot of... You guys were really, really bunched up there.
Sorry, you're right.
Aerials are really just practice. It's a lot of practice and getting used to it. There's the only real... Wow. The only real thing I could try and say is... It's not even worth going there, honestly.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say...
Focus on the ground game first.
Yeah, I was gonna say fast aerials, but that's not gonna be super useful for you. A lot of it is your starting point. Ooh, there you go. Obviously, I'm sure your control isn't where it needs to be. So the first thing you would want to focus on is where you start going into it, so you can do as little adjustment. I'll say it again. As little adjustment in the air as possible. Because in these levels, a straight on aerial is pretty much all you'll really need if you have yourself positioned correctly. Yep. Like, you're not really going to be having anybody do something super crazy that forces you to make a big adjustment or anything like that. So your starting position is probably the most important thing, I'd say. And just kind of learning... Okay. Kind of learning your takeoff angles and, how fast you move in the air. It's just kind of experimentation.
Yeah, sure. And would you recommend going down, what is it, hops or hoops, whatever, to like work on that?
Oh, God. I wouldn't recommend anybody play hoops, frankly. Mode is not great. No, there are... I can't name any off the top of my head, but there's... I'm sure on Reddit or one of those sites, you can probably type in beginner aerial trainings, and there's, I mean, probably millions at this point. A little far. Probably millions at this point of custom trainings that can cater to lower skill levels to learn that skill set.
Yeah. Sorry.
So custom training is great. I mean, I still sit there in custom training sometimes just to, get acclimated before I start sweating.
Couple more matches.
Yeah.
Excuse me while I have a drink.
So I would say do a little research into those and give you situations where you're not in a game thinking about it as much and just kind of get the feel for it.
Yeah, very cool. And most of your time's in doubles, isn't it?
Yeah, overwhelmingly.
Have you competed, in your tournaments? The daily 9 p.m. for us. I know it's on the...
Yes, not as much. If I'm ever on, I'll usually do it. Never do all that well in them because those are usually the people that are. Ooh. Usually those are the people that are, know each other and play together all the time, and it is really tough in those tournaments. I've won a couple, but that's just because I'm playing with randoms and you have to learn each other on the fly compared to some group of 9-year-olds with something about penis in their team name.
And they always beat us.
They always do. That's what I'm saying. They spend all this time coming up with such a funny team name, like your mom loves my jock or something. Yet they still beat you. I don't know how they do it.
All right, man. What I'd love to do, just as a final thing here, is we need to wrap it up. Unfortunately, real life calls. But if I can just quickly, if you don't mind, get a training free play. Do you guys all follow me if I do that?
No.
Oh, is there a way we can all load up?
You can set up a private.
Now it's open. What I just really quickly want you to walk me through is that rotation, slow speed, no opponents.
Sure, I can do that. No bots, turn up the time.
Oh, time, great goal.
Probably no goal reset,
Actually,
I would say. There you go.
All right, so is that great, you guys see?
I am.
You need to choose something. Yeah, so we'll go blue. And I just want to run through. So if you want to take the lead, and then Trav, you go to where you think you should be positioned, and then I'll come in third.
So, let's see. Where should I start with this? Well, for one, never mind. So, say the ball is going here, and I'm the farthest forward, and I would be going towards it, to challenge for it.
Yep.
So, let's see here. Oops. I didn't want that to go in. So I would say where you would be either to my left or to my right, probably about to there. I think is a decent spot to be. Maybe a little closer if you really want to kind of cheat up and be ready. Like, say if I'm going for it and you can tell that I'm going to be in a 50 with the defender, like it could go, either way. You could cheat up a little bit in case it bounces favorably for you to come in after me and pounce on it. Yep. Or if it's reading the situation. If you think that I'm not going to reach it, you can be a little farther back and be ready to swerve back a little bit and give yourself more space for defense. And so that's kind of where you would be in support. Being lateral to your teammate, you know, on the same level as them is never really a good idea, because basically if the one person loses the ball, then the other person has nowhere to go to react to it.
So
Yeah, pretty much. Just kind of having that back angle to give you space to move and react and figure out where the ball's going. And as for the person in the back, really they're kind of just, they can be as far back as they like, really. They're basically just there as insurance for the moment in case, in case the ball goes either the opposite direction of where the second person is and they can be there to receive it, or in case it, you know, goes over that person, or, you know, whatever happens. They're just kind of back in this back third, probably not past where this design is here. Is about where their usefulness will be optimized, because you're just I'm sorry.
Hang on the same like half of the pitch with the ball, or are you offsetting yourself? Or does that question make no sense without visuals?
Well, yeah, run that by me again.
Like, if you were down here, third man, are you sort of cutting a figure 8 across the whole pitch, or are you just limiting it to a smaller circle in line with the ball further down the pitch?
Yeah, basically. Like, you generally, what I try to do is kind of have a diagonal on the ball, because if you're diagonal to it, you're minimizing the space behind you for you to have to try to turn into, and you're maximizing the space in front of you to go into.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, if it's, keep bumping into you there. So say if it's kind of over that direction, obviously the first person will be moving up to it here, try and hit it up the wall or try and cut it across, whatever they need to do. The other person, depending on where they're rotating from, would be kind of back this direction.
Yeah, okay, sure. No,
Since,
that's great, man.
Yeah, so either the person on the wall will take it up and try and cut it in field, or you can drive across to meet it over here in case it goes that way, or if you're already here, you're already there, you know.
Yeah, sure.
And if you're the third man, you would basically just, I would usually kind of just occupy the space in front of the goal here, because being lateral to the goal is the best place for you to be, because you have the most room to cover in case you need to make a move like that. So if it's on the corner where it's at right now, I would be kind of hanging out on this side.
Sure.
Because it's easier for it to come across and block in case you need to. And it's usually going to stay on the same side, and it gives you that room to rotate around to meet it whenever that second person does their job.
Yeah, perfect. All right, Zach, I'm going to have to cut you off there. Real life calls, mate. I can't thank you enough for making yourself available today and providing these pro tips to myself and Trav. Trav, thank you, buddy.
Thank you, and thank you, Zach.
Thank you for having me again.
Great work, man. We may call on you again when we work out how to rotate properly.
Sure.
Thanks, buddy. See ya.
Later.
Oh, that was luck. Hey, that's something. Oh!
Two players split.
Old Uncle Donkey. Gee, Donkey.